Hello, everybody. Welcome to game number 3 in Sparky Bowl. 1976 Reds against the 1984 Tigers. The Reds have won the first 2 games in Cincinnati. We are now moved, the scene is now shifted to Detroit for the next 3 games, if they're all necessary. And the game 3 starters for each team: Milt Wilcox for the Tigers, Pat Zachry for the Reds, a couple of right-handers. So both teams have their left-handed hitting line in there. The Reds pretty much have their standard lineup, period, because the Tigers don't have any lefty starters. So their lineup is pretty much going to be the same every single time. Not a whole lot of, hey, Brian B. Hello, Ben. And yes, I know a certain other person is on the air right now, but they're talking about squirrels or crap. And if you want to listen to that gibberish, you go right ahead. If you want to watch a ball game, you stay here. All right. So Pat Zachry, Milt Wilcox, and again, Brian B. You can manage the Reds when bullpen situations and whatnot come up. Yes, he is taking the night off tonight. He probably needs it after all. That's the games he's been doing every single night, so he probably deserves it. So Pete Rose will lead things off here against Milt Wilcox in game number 3. Must win for the Tigers. They're down 2-0. They do not want to fall down 3-0. That would be pretty much insurmountable. Yankees found that out in 76. 1-3 is a strikeout chance, but a 20 is too high. We go to Pete Rose. 1-6. That's a power result to center. It goes to 14. That's a 6. It'll be a leadoff double for Pete Rose. Rose with a leadoff double. And that'll bring up Ken Griffey. Nothing on strategy. Wilcox to Griffey. 1-1. And against a lefty, that's a walk chance. A 3 will walk him. So rough start for Wilcox. There was a theoretical day off for travel between games 2 and game 3. So all the bullpens are well rested. And Sparky may be going to his early here. If Wilcox runs into trouble. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Here's Joe Morgan. 2-5, that's a strikeout chance, but again, 20 is too high, so here comes Morgan. 4-1, it's a fly to left, that's 1 away. To get from third, you lose 3 to go from second to third, so Rose would automatically drop to a 0. And Jones has a 0 arm, so it doesn't matter either way. So there's 1 away. And that'll bring up Tony Perez. Nothing on strategy. Here's Perez. 2-6, a blank. So we finish up on Perez's card. 5-2. It's a liner right back to the pitcher Wilcox and a possible double play. Look at the line drive chart. I'm still using version 3. I'm not messing with the other crap they're doing. I'm sticking with version 3. Line drive to the pitcher. Runner on first is out on a 1-4. Run on second is out on a 5. So anything other than a 6, we got a double play. That's a 6. That's the kind of series it's been for the Tigers. They can't catch a break. I tell you, they just can't catch a break. So that should have been a double play. Should have been a double play, but it was not. Oh well, it's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, here is Wilcox. 1-6, that's a strikeout chance. A 1, he got him. That's going to end the inning. So he gets out of it with no damage done. And there is no score. We go to the bottom of the first. And Pat Zachry on the mound for the Reds. He was 14-7 with a 2.74 earned run average. And he'll be facing Sweet Lou Whitaker. Hello, Colin. Good to see you. Sweet Lou. 5-1, strikeout chance, and a 1 got him. So Whitaker is out on strikes. Here's Trammell. 3-6, that's a range play at the park. Going to Tiger Stadium for a range check. 6-5, it's a home run to the pull side, which is left field. His home runs against righties, though, are only a 5. That's a 16, so it's just going to be a deep fly to left for out number 2. And here comes Kirk Gibson. Hello, Denny. Good to see you. Zachry 1-6, strikeout 2, and boy, he's getting low numbers for the strike. The Reds are pretty much getting all the rolls in the series. I will say that much. Anything that's quite borderline seems to go their favor, and I don't know why that is, but it's just the way it is right now. All right, so at the end of 1, no score from Tiger Stadium. Game number 3, must win for Detroit. Hello, Robert. I'm glad you are taking the night off to rest your voice and get all ready for your next block of games. Figured this would be a good night. I was going to wait till Sunday to play this, but I thought it was an awful long wait to wait. So what I'm going to do is play this game now, and then on Sunday night, we'll play game 4. All right, here is Milt Wilcox to Foster. 4-6, that's a blank. Go to Foster. 1-2, ground ball right back to Wilcox for out number 1. Brings up Johnny Bench. 4-3, and that is at the park, going to Tiger Stadium. Pretty good hitter's park is Tiger Stadium. 3-4, and that's a home run to the opposite field. He's a 15, and that's a 13. It is gone. Johnny Bench goes opposite way, short porch in right field for Tiger Stadium, and Johnny Bench connects. Reds lead at 1-0. Wilcox has to shake that one off. 2-5 strikeout, and again, he gets a strikeout chance, but the D20 keeps coming up with a huge number. Even the +3 from Tiger Stadium is not going to help. He's a 15, +3 is an 18, and we roll a 19. I'm telling you, it's rigged for the Reds. This whole series is rigged for the Reds. I can tell you that right now. All right, Geronimo will swing it. 3-1, and that's a triple to left field. So he doesn't get the strikeout, and instead Geronimo triples to left field. Unbelievable. All right, infield's going to have to come in for Concepcion. With 1 out and a runner at third. 3-3, strikeout 8. Finally, we'll get him because of the +3 from Tiger Stadium. That gives him the strikeout. 2 down. Infield can go back to normal for Pete Rose. Pete Rose. Wilcox to Rose. 5-3 is a range play at the park. Going to Tiger Stadium for Pete Rose. 4-4. Ground ball to second. We're checking Whitaker. He's a 3. Dollars to donuts. We're going to roll a 4, 5, or 6. No, we did roll a 3. How about that? Amazing. He was able to make the play to end the inning. So the only run of the game so far is the home run from Johnny Bench. So Wilcox minimizes the damage. A no-out triple by Griffey does not come in to score. They strand him with a strike. Well, 1-out triple, I should say. They strand him with a strikeout and a ground out. So we go to the bottom of the second, and Lance Parrish, your batter. 4-5, and that is a blank. Parrish a righty, so it's a blank, not a automatic out. Parrish. 5-1 is a liner to third. Pete Rose snags it 1 away. For Darrell Evans playing third base in this one with the right-hander on the mound. They set Castillo down, put Evans at third, and insert Bergman at first. 2-6, strikeout chance, 17, too high. Go to Evans. 4-3, it's a pop-up to second base. Joe Morgan right there, 2 down. For Johnny Grubb, the designated hitter. 4-6, strikeout chance, 3, got him. Third strikeout for Zachry. At the end of 2, it's Cincinnati 1 and Detroit 0. And it almost just seems like a mismatch, although you would think both these teams are pretty well equally done here, but this is making it look like the Reds are just too dominant for them. Wilcox, 5-1, strikeout, and again, high number of 20, not going to be a strikeout. 6-4, it's ground ball to short, and Trammell is there, 1 away. Two-4 is a strikeout chance, 11, too much. We go to Morgan. 4-1, fly ball to left field, 2 down. 2 down for Tony Perez. 3-5, and that's a blank. We go to Perez. 6-1 as a star 5 fly to left again. So finally a 1-2-3 inning turned in by Wilcox. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 ball game. Rupert Jones, left fielder, stepping to the plate. 1-1 is a blank. We go to Rupert. 2-5, that's a fly to left. One away. One down for Chet Lemon. 1-2, strikeout, and a 2 is going to get him. That's number 4 for Pat Zachry. Number 9 hitter Bergman. 3-1 is a possible error on a ground ball. Go to Bergman. 6-3, it's a ground ball to first, but that's a 19. Perez's error is only a 4. So he will field it and flip to Zachry covering to end the inning. So 9 up, 9 down by Pat Zachry in the first 3 innings. And the Tigers are looking more like kittens right now. Top of the 4th, and Mr. Dreesen. Maybe it's because I corner rounded the Tigers. Maybe that's why they're doing so poorly. But that was done years ago when I bought the set. As I said the other day, I was corner rounding when corner rounding wasn't cool. So here's Wilcox. 5-2 is a blank, not a Johnny-come-lately. Dreesen, 4-4, ground ball to short. 1 away. Wilcox, 4-2 is a walk plus, so he will definitely draw the base on balls, Will Foster. He's aboard. His attempt is a 1. Nothing happening. So here's Bench. He homered his first time up. 3-2. That's a strikeout chance. 12 is going to get him. Strikeout number 3 for Wilcox. And now it's down to Geronimo with his impressive 2 range in center field. Unbelievable. You can't tell me he's not at least a 3. He's not at least average. I know he's not below average. I don't care what the numbers say. 1-2 is a possible error on a throw. 2-3 is a star 6. That's a fly to center to end the inning. No error to worry about. So now here is Lou Whitaker to start things off in the 4th. Tiger's going to see if the second time around on Zachry is better than the first time around. 2-1 ballpark card going to Tiger Stadium for Lou Whitaker. 5-1 single to right field. Finally get a hit. First hit and first base runner for the Tigers. Whitaker has no chance to steal, but we will roll, see if there's a balk or a pickoff. There is not. So here's Alan Trammell. 6-5. That's a blank. We go to Trammell. 4-1. That's a ground ball to third. Possible double play. Pivot at second. Morgan's a 0. He's a 1, but -1 from Zachry makes it a 0 there. Halfway makes it a 1. The pivot's a 0. So the only way there's a double play is on a 1. That's a 5, so they will get the force play. 5-4. Trammell safe at first base. 1 away. Trammell's attempt is a 3. Nothing there. So here's Kirk Gibson. 5-5. That's a possible wild pitch. A 4 is a wild pitch. And that will move Trammell to second base. So Trammell's at second. 20. So it's a balk 1-3 or pick off 4-5. And he's going to balk. So a wild pitch and now a balk. So Zachry a little bit befuddled here. A wild pitch and a balk puts Trammell at third base with only 1 out. The infield now is going to have to come in. I mean, the infield, not the outfield. Infield's in against Gibson. 3-3. It's a home run question mark. 1-12. It passes. So on a 1-16, Kirk Gibson will go deep, just like he did off Goose Gossage. And he does. Kirk Gibson, a 2-run home run And as soon as I talk about the Tigers, here comes Kirk Gibson saying, pitch to me, pitch to me. Sparky saying, they don't want to walk you. They don't want to walk you. And there you go. 2-1 Tigers in the lead. Here's Lance Parrish. 4-1. Pitcher result, 1-8 is an out. That is an 8, so it will be an out. And it's going to be a fly to left for Foster. 2 down. Darrell Evans. 5-3. That's a walk. 11. He definitely will walk on that. He has no attempt to steal for Johnny Grubb. 3-6. Range play at the park. So we're going to the park for a range play. 6-1 is a ground ball in front of the plate. The range of Johnny Bench is a 5. So he makes the play, throws to first, and the inning's over. But the 2-run home run off the bat of Lance Parrish has given the Tigers a 2-1 lead here as we head to the top of the 5th. It'll be Concepcion, Rose, and Griffey due up. 2-5, and that's a strikeout chance. 10. He's going to get him. He's a 7, but the stadium adds 3, so it is a strikeout. 1 away for Pete Rose. 1-4. That's a walk chance, and he will draw the base on balls. Rose with a 1-out walk. His attempt is, well, he doesn't have an attempt. We'll roll for pickoffs or balks. Nothing happening. Griffey, senior. 5-4 is a blank. We go to Griffey. 3-1. That's a star 3. Ground ball to short. Possible double play. He's a 1. +1 from the pitcher is a 2. Halfway is a 3. The pivot at second, Whitaker's a 0. So 1-3, and we got a double play. And we do. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So the swift running Griffey hit it so hard that combination of Trammell and Whitaker, best double play combination in baseball history. And yes, I said it because they are. They did it longer than anybody. And better than anybody. Although Morgan and Concepcion are pretty close. I will say that. All right, here's Rupert Jones. Lead off the bottom of the 5th. 6-6 is a blank. Go to Rupert. 3-6, that's a single to left field. Rupert Jones with the leadoff single. His attempt is a 1. And that's a 7, so he can't go anywhere. Chet Lemon. 1-4, blank. We go to Lemon's card. 4-6, that's a star 3. Ground ball to second, possible double play. He's a 3, but -1's a 2. Halfway brings it back to a 3. Pivot at short, Concepcion's a +1, so we got a 1-4 double play. And they turn it 4-6-3. 2 quick outs. And that'll send up Dave Bergman, the number 9 hitter. 3-2, range play. We go to Bergman for a range check. 5-4, ground ball to third. Range play for Pete Rose. He's only a 3, but he makes the play. That's going to end the inning. So we played 5 complete here in Detroit. 2-1 Tigers. Wilcox back out. He can face 25 batters. He has faced 20 right now, so he's in good shape, but the bullpen is on the ready. They do have Senor Smoke, the lefty. Aurelio Lopez loosening in their bullpen just in case. Here's Morgan. He's flown to left twice. 3-2 is a strikeout chance, but 18 is too much. 4-6, that's a single to right field for Joe Morgan. And we'll see if he can get the lead. His attempt is a 6. He does not get the lead. He will hold. Here's Perez. He's 0 for 2. Whoa, hop and dice. Let's re-roll that. 3-1, wild pitch, 16, no, so it's a blank. We go to Perez. 4-4, star 4. Ground ball to first. Ground ball to Bergman. Possible double play. He's a 3. +1's a 4. The pivot at short, Trammell's a 0. 1 to 4, they got a double play. And they do. 3-6-3, they turn it. Not an easy double play to turn, but Bergman and Trammell turned it perfectly. 2 quick outs for Dan Dreesen. 6-6 is a blank. We go to Dreesen. 6-2, ground ball to first. Ends the inning. I will say this, if the Tigers get the lead in the late innings, they have a much better chance to close it out than the Reds. Their bullpen is much superior than Cincinnati's. All right. Cincinnati probably has a little bit better starting pitching, though. Here is Whitaker. Start at the top of the 6th. Zachry can face 27. He's only faced 18, so he's good to go. 1-3 is a hit by pitch. He's a 0, -4, so no hit by pitch. Go to Whitaker. 4-4. Pops it up to short, and Concepcion puts it away. 1 down for Alan Trammell. 4-1, that's a pitcher result. And Trammell's a righty. 1 to 8's an automatic out. That's a 6. So he gets the automatic out, and it will be a ground ball to Morgan. 2 down. So since the home run by Gibson, he has settled in quite nicely as Zachry. Here's Gibson again. 1-5, and that is an automatic out to the lefty. He gets the automatic out, and it's going to be a ground ball to short to end the inning. So 6 innings are in the books. It's 2-1 Detroit. They're hanging on. Due up for the Reds, it'll be Foster, Bench, and Geronimo. Question is, how long do they stick with Wilcox? He can face 25 batters before he's tired. He has faced 23. So the bullpen is ready. Aurelio Lopez if needed. But they're going to stick with Wilcox a little bit longer because he's pitching pretty well. 2-3, strikeout, 18 too high. 2-2, star 2, ground ball to third, and Evans is there, 1 away. That'll bring up Johnny Bench. 2-2, and that's a blank. He's not tired. 3-2 is a star 2, ground ball to third again. 2 down, and now he is tired. Wilcox is tired, but they're going to see if he can get through the inning. See if he can go 7 with 2 outs and bases empty. Geronimo, 5-2, and that's a blank. Go to Geronimo. 1-2, it's a single to third base. Knocked down by Evans, but he had no play. Now, with Concepcion coming up, that's going to be it for Wilcox. They can't take any chances. They're going to Senor Smoke, Aurelio Lopez, out of the bullpen. So Lopez it is. Wilcox is going to go 6 2/3. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 1 run, but he's responsible for Geronimo. And let's see, walks and strikeouts. He walked 2, 3. So he walked 3, and he struck out 4. So now Cesar Geronimo with the single. Let's see if he can get a lead. His attempt is a 3. Does not get the lead, so here's Concepcion. 1-5, a wild pitch chance, but 19 is too high. We go to Concepcion. 1-3, and that's a ground ball to first. Bergman has it to end the inning. And Lopez gets Wilcox out of the jam. So the Tigers hanging in there, leading 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. I'm going to forgo take me out to the ball game and just keep going. And due up for the Tigers will be Parrish, Evans, and Grubb. Zachry can face 27. He has faced 21, so he's still okay. So he'll start out facing Lance Parrish. 6-4, and that's a strikeout chance, but 19 too much. Go to Parrish. 1-2, ground ball to short. Concepcion is there, one away. And Brian B., if you're still around, anytime you want to make a pitching change or a pinch hitting move, now that we're in the 7th inning, just let me know. Zachry, 4-4 is a blank. We go to Evans. 5-3, and that is a fly ball to center field against a right-hander. So that's 2 away for Johnny Grubb. Zachry, 1-5. I think that's an automatic out against the lefty with that star line. And it's going to be a fly to left for Foster to end the inning. So Zachary's going to go at least 7 innings. He can still face 3 more before he tires. We'll see how that plays out. We go to the top of the 8th. Pete Rose and the top of the order will lead off for the Reds against Aurelio Lopez. It'll be Rose, Griffey, and Morgan against Senor Smoke. Top of the 8th, 2-1 ball game. 1-1's a strikeout, 9. He's a 6, but the +3 adds to makes that a 9. So Pete Rose down on strikes. Rose not a fan of the ballpark effects. 1 down for Ken Griffey. 5-1. That's a walk plus, so Griffey will draw the base on balls. And his attempt is a 4. 14 does not get the lead. Here's Morgan. 1-3. That's a pitcher result. 1-2 is an out, but that's a 14, so it's a blank. We go to Morgan. 6-1. Pops it up to third. Evans is there, 2 down for Tony Perez. Oh, sorry, didn't roll the strategy roll. My bad. 20, so chance for a balk on a 1 or a 2. No balk. Okay, here's Perez. 6-3, strikeout 3, got him. So Senor Smoke does his job, and he will turn it over in the 9th to Willie Hernandez. So Senor Smoke an inning and a third, and he gives up a walk and gets 2 strikeouts, nothing else. And it's the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Rupert Jones, Chet Lemon, and Dave Bergman, the scheduled hitters for Detroit. Brian B., did you want to make any sort of pitching move, or you want to stick with Zachry? He can face 3 more batters. Could bring in a lefty McEnany, could bring in Bourbon, could bring in Eastwick. There's all sorts of choices. They're all well rested due to the off day. Stick with him. All right, we're going to stick with Zachry. Here's Rupert Jones. 3-6, that's a range play at the park. Going to Tiger Stadium for a range play. 1-1, that's a blank, so we got a rare play. Bases empty, rare play, and we hope there's not an injury anywhere. Bases empty, rare play. We get a 12. Pitcher grabs shoulder after pitch, check for injury. So it looks like we might have an injury on Zachry. His injury rating is a 1, so he could stay in there with a 1 or a 2. He will keep going. A 2, he toughs it out. So he's going to stay in there. Ball 1 on the pitch, but he will stay in there. He tells Sparky and the trainer, I can do it. Zachry with the pitch. 3-6, range play at the park again. Range play at the park. 2-2, that's a fly to left. We're checking Foster. His range is a 4. 1-4, Foster makes the catch. And he does. So Foster retires Rupert Jones, 1 away. Here's Chet Lemon. 6-2 is a walk chance. 8 will draw the base on balls. So we'll walk him. Lemon does not have an attempt to steal. Zachry. Well, we got lefties coming up. 2 lefties in a row, Bergman and Whitaker. So I don't know if you want to stick with Zachry. He'll be tired after this batter, or if you want to go to the bullpen or let Zachry keep going. I'm assuming you want Zachry to keep going. So strategy roll. Nothing happening. So Zachry to Bergman. 3-3, and that's a home run question mark. 1 to 12, it passes. Bergman on a 1 to 9 will hit a 2-run home run. 12, he misses it, so but he does get to swing. 2-1 is a double to left field for Bergman. Doubles to left. Left fielder Arm Foster is a -1. Lemon runs at a 2. -1 makes him a 1. Double to left, you lose 1, makes him a 0. So he has to stop at third base. He has no choice. He will stop at third base. Second and third, 1 out. Infield will have to come in. Zachry is now tired. So you can walk Whitaker and pitch to Trammell and set up a double play. Pitch to Whitaker with the infield in. All right, so we're going to intentionally walk Whitaker to set up a force play at any base. And you want Manny Sarmiento, the right-hander. All right, Sarmiento will take over for Zachry. And we'll do the numbers on Zachry real quick. He goes 7 1/3. And see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3. I've got him just for 4 hits. 2 runs. Of course, he's responsible for everyone on base. Walks 1, 2, and the intentional walk makes 3. And he struck out 4, but he hadn't struck anybody out since the 3rd inning. So his strikeout pitch, it kind of got away from him a little bit. All right, so Trammell is up with the bases loaded and 1 out. I'm assuming you want to play back for the double play. I don't know, but Sarmiento is a -1 on his double play rating, and Trammell is only a 1. So now I look at it, I'm guessing you want to play the infield in. I don't know. You let me know. Infield is in. Okay. Infield is in with 1 out and the bases loaded in a 2-1 game in the bottom of the 8th. Nothing on strategy. Sarmiento, 6-2 is a range play with the infield in. They better hope it's a fly ball. 3-1, star 1 is a fly ball to left field. So Foster's range is a 4. 1 to 4, he'll make the catch, but it could still be a sacrifice fly. And he does make the catch for out number 2. Lemon runs at a 2. Foster a -1 arm. Trammell's sacrifice fly rating is a 1. That's not going to work. Again, he runs at a 2. Foster a -1. So 1's the only way he can score. He does not. He's got a hold. So it was not deep enough. 2 down. Infield back to normal for Kirk Gibson. Sarmiento to Gibson. I'm assuming you still want Sarmiento and not McEnany. I'm assuming you still, even though Gibson's a lefty, or do you want to walk Gibson? Well, you can't walk Gibson because the bases are loaded. My bad. I'm assuming we'll have to pitch to Gibson. Sarmiento to Gibson. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. 2-3, and that's a walk chance. 6 will walk in a run. So they force in the 3rd run of the game. Lemon, that's charged to the starter, Zachry. Going to 3rd is Bergman. Going to 2nd is Whitaker. Bases are loaded, 3-1 Tigers. Sarmiento trying to get, all right, it says bring in Eastwick. Okay, we're bringing in Eastwick to face Parrish to try to keep it from getting out of hand and keep the Reds in the game. So Eastwick will be coming on. So Sarmiento, forgot to even write his name in there. He came in and he pitched a 1/3 of an inning, gave up a walk, nothing else. He is responsible for Gibson if Gibson happens to score. Still can't close the book on Zachry because these 2 runs on base are his responsibility. So Eastwick trying to get that elusive 3rd out and send this game to the 9th inning with only a 2-run deficit, but they'll have to face Willie Hernandez in the 9th. All right, so Eastwick, really no strategy roles even needed here at this point. Eastwick, 5-4. That's the ballpark card going to Tiger Stadium with the bases loaded to Lance Parrish. 3-3 is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning as Griffey hauls it in. So Sarmiento not charged with any runs. Zachry charged with 3 runs total. So we go to the 9th. Last chance for the Reds. And they'll have to do it against Willie Hernandez. Guillermo, don't call me Willie Hernandez. He was still Willie Hernandez in '84, I believe. He didn't go to Guillermo until later. And I'm assuming I'm going to try to read Brian B's. Well, he already typed it in there before I had a chance to look at it. I knew he was going to pinch hit with Bailey for the lefty Dreesen. Bailey hit for Geronimo. What about Dreesen? You let Dreesen hit against the lefty? He's only a 247 hitter. Do you want to bring in a right-hander for Dreesen? Because it is Dreesen, Foster, and bench. Geronimo doesn't come up to the 4th spot. I'm guessing you're talking about. Foster is not up. Perez struck out to end the inning. Dreesen's the next guy in line. Dreesen did not make the last out. Perez made the last out when he struck out. The 6th inning is when he made the last out. In the 8th inning, Perez made the last out. Bailey for Dreesen. Okay, that's what made the most sense. That's what I was assuming you were going to do. So Bailey, and if the Reds tie it, he will stay in the game to be the DH going forward. All right, so Willie Hernandez will be facing Bailey, Foster, and bench here in the top of the 9th. We're trying to protect a 3-run lead, or 3-1 lead, rather, not a 3-run lead, but a 3-1 lead. Hernandez to Bailey, the pinch hitter. 1-6 pitcher result. 1-10's an out. That's a 4. It will be an out. And it's going to be a ground ball to Trammell. 1 away. Got to bring up George Foster. 4-1. Possible error on a throw. 3-2. That's a star 4. Ground ball to short. So it is a possible error on a throw, but that's a 20. Trammell's error rating is only a 5. So there will be no throwing error. 2 down for Johnny Bench. Last chance for the Reds. 2-5. That's a ballpark card going to Tiger Stadium for Johnny Bench's at bat on the ballpark card. That is that's a leaner, so I'm going to re-roll that. 4-1, star 6 is a fly to right field, and that's going to end the ball game. Tigers win it 3-1 and cut the series lead to 2-1, and they've gotten themselves right back into this little Sparky Bowl. And Sparky of the Tigers is enjoying this. So Hernandez pitches a flawless 9th, gives up nothing. Winning pitcher is Wilcox. The losing pitcher is Zachry. Save to Willie Hernandez. For the Tigers, 3 runs on 4 hits. I don't believe either team made an error. Not that I can recall. For the Reds, they get 1 run on 5 hits. Left on base. 1, 2. Well, this is what hurt the Reds right here. They had first and second, nobody out in the first inning, couldn't score. And they also had Geronimo at third with 1 out and could not score. So 3 left on base early hurt them. 4, 5, 6. They only left on 6 for the whole game, but the first 3 were killers. For the Tigers, 1, 2, 3. Got them for 4 left on. So there you go. There's your final score, 3-1. Tigers win it. The Game 4 matchup will match the number 4 pitcher for the Reds, Gary Nolan. But the Tigers will come back with Jack Morris as they did in Game 4 in the Real World Series. So it'll be Jack Morris against Gary Nolan. And if it's going to go to a Game 5, it has to. It'll be Don Gullett against Dan Petrie in Game 5. But Game 3 is in the books here in Detroit. Cool deal, Chuck. Cool deal. Hit the 2-run homer here in the 4th. So even as well as Wilcox pitched, I still think that your player of the game has to be Kirk Gibson. He's got to be the player of the game. His 2-run homer, and plus he walked in a run. He drew a base on balls to give him an insurance run. So he drove in all 3 runs. So kind of hard not to make him the player of the game when he drives in all 3 runs. Well, I'm just following what they did in real world, Brian. So I know the Reds use a 4-man rotation. The Tigers use a 3-man rotation. So that's what I'm going by. And I'm using the lineup when the Reds face a right-hander. I'm using the lineup that they faced when they faced the Yankees facing a right-hander. And that's the same lineup because the Tigers don't have any lefty starters. And the Tigers, when they face a right-hander from the Padres, that's the lineup I'm using in 84. When they face a left-hander from the Padres, I put the left-handed lineup in. But right now, Game 4 of Gary Nolan, you're going to pretty much see the same lineup again. When Game 5 comes around for Gullett, you're going to see Evans move to first. You're going to see Castillo at third. You're going to see Garbe, DH, and Derry Herndon in left field. So a lot of mixing and matching there by Sparky 2.0. So there you go. No RJL, no problem. We have inside pitch for you on RJL's night off to rest his voice. RJL will be back at it tomorrow night around roughly 8 o'clock Eastern, so be sure to check him out as he starts the next block of games in the 1999 replay. And for anybody that wasn't here this afternoon when I did a Stratomatic game at noon, I did bring this up briefly, but I actually did watch the All-Star game last night. I didn't watch it last night. I watched it this morning. I DVR'd it and decided to watch it this morning. I really don't like modern baseball, but I don't know some of the players, but I decided to give it a shot anyway. And I have to say that was an entertaining 9 innings in the All-Star game, but the aftermath was total crap. I don't know who came with that idea, but that they need to be shot to have a home run derby at the end like that. That's ridiculous. You thought the ghost run was bad. That was worse. That was totally worse. Totally worse. And if you use a pitch, just call it a tie. And it's an exhibition, so who gives a crap? Just call it a tie. If you don't want to call it a tie, then let the guy that pitched the 9th inning pitch twice. Pitch the 2nd inning, or bring in somebody else that's already pitched. You free substitution. Bring in someone. Bring somebody back if you have to. Well, I don't know, Ben. I mean, you play all 9 innings, so whether you score them early or late, it still counts in my book. So to me, it's a pure tie. But I don't know. When I looked at the lineups in the beginning of the game, when the game started, I said, man, the National League, this looks like an easy win for the National League because their lineup and pitching just looks so much better. But American League surprised me. They came back against the National League bullpen, particularly Edwin Diaz. I thought maybe they should have used him to begin with in the 9th instead of using the guy from the Padres. But, you can second guess that all you want, I suppose. But definitely a swing and the miss, that's for sure. But yeah, I would definitely try to find a different resolution to the extra innings. Now, one thing I'm glad they finally brought back, and they ought to shoot the guy who even took this away, was using the players' own team uniforms instead of the generic uniform that they wore for a couple of years. I don't know whose bright idea that was to have them do that, but somebody finally got some sense and had them wear their regular uniforms. And it looks like, from what I can understand, it looks like most of them wore some of them wore their secondary jerseys, which weren't too bad, but I didn't see any city jerseys or anything crazy. Although Will Smith for the Dodgers, when he was catching, had these bright yellow chest protector and shin guards. Maybe he did it because Paul Skeens is used to that from a Pirate catcher. So maybe he wore that just to make Paul Skeens feel at home. I don't know. But Paul Skeens is a beast, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, going 1 inning, the starters have got to at least go 2 innings. That's just sad. You got to go 2 innings. And if a guy doesn't get in the game, so be it. You keep a guy back extra for extra innings. You keep him in reserve for extra innings. And yeah, just wasn't done very well. So I don't know. But to me, the All-Star game, ever since interleague play, the All-Star game pretty much has lost its luster to me because these guys face each other all the time anyway. What's the big deal? I mean, back in the old days, the American League never faced the National League except in the World Series and the All-Star game. That's what made it special. Now it's just another game. So I don't get it. But oh well. But yeah, but some of the teams like the American League, Ryan O'Hearn, really? Is he really an all-star, or is he just the only guy the Orioles could throw out there that made the team as their one representative? Tell me the Orioles don't have anybody better than that they can put out there as a an all-star performer? That's pretty lame in my book. But I don't know. But maybe they are that bad. But I didn't think they were. I mean, even the White Sox, the guy they brought in, the reliever they used, I looked at his numbers. He had a horrible ERA. His ERA was over 4. He had a losing record as a relief pitcher, but I guess he's the best the White Sox had, and they had to pick somebody, so they used him. I think he pitched like 2 batters and got out. I noticed they did override the 3-batter rule because there's a lot of pitchers that only face 2 batters. Kershaw for one of them, but I guess they overrode the 3-batter rule. I'm not too sure about the challenge thing. I kind of like the human element in umpiring. So I'm flexible on it, but I'm not sold on it. So I'd have to see it in regular season play to see if it's worthwhile. Granted, the ones that challenged, just about everybody got it right when they challenged. So I guess to that extent, it worked as it's supposed to. But I'll tell you one thing, at least they got the challenges. They got them. I mean, they were done in like 5 seconds. So now you won't see the 3-batter rule in this channel because I'm not playing any seasons that had the 3-batter rule. So if I am playing if I was going to play a newer season, I would use whatever rules they would use in real life. But I'm just not a fan of modern day baseball, just like Larry Harris said. I'm more a fan of the 70s and 80s and I wasn't around really in the 60s to know what was going on, but 70s and 80s was definitely my wheelhouse. I would say up to 93. Before the strike, it was all peaches and cream. After the strike, I kind of got away from it for a long, long time. I did enjoy it back in 2019 when the Nationals won the World Series, but then when they had the COVID season and then they went to universal DH and all the new things they've instituted with the ghost runners and all that crap, it just totally threw me away, got me out of that, which is sad because the players are awesome players. I mean, Aaron Judge is a beast. I thought he was just a home run hitter, but he's actually a very good average hitter as well. And Paul Skeens, if he doesn't, I mean, he's going to probably get his arm injured and probably have Tommy John, but that dude is a beast as well. So I may end up watching a couple of games just when he pitches, just to watch it and see what happens. But yeah, I'm more of a Brian. The Reds are supposedly have a competitive team this year. I don't know. The guy they had pitching in the All-Star game looked pretty good. And of course, their shortstop, very flamboyant. He was doing pretty good. De La Cruz. Trying to think. I don't know that many Reds players, to be honest with you. It was funny seeing Aroldis Chapman in a Pirates uniform. I do know that. There's a guy on the Reds. Yeah, Abbott. Yeah, he kind of remind me of Tom Browning for sure. All right, the Reds play the Mets tomorrow, according to this, and they got some guy named Lodolo, Lodolo, starting for him. I have no clue who that is. I'm sure Brian B, you know all about him, but I know nothing about him. So I don't know what he's got going on. Let me try something here. Trying to find, maybe go to Baseball Reference, I guess. I'm just trying to find the Reds roster. See if I recognize any of these names. other than a couple. I'm sure most of them I will not recognize. Let's see. I know Francona is the manager. Spencer Steer. Matt McLean is the guy that was supposed to be up and coming. I don't know how he's doing, but he was but he's only hitting 210 right now, so he's really struggling. But he was supposed to be the next big thing, from what I understood. They got that Gavin Lux from the Dodgers. I don't see where he's doing all that great. I've heard of Friedel and Fraley. I know Tyler Stevenson is a catcher. Guy with the longest name in baseball, Christian Encarnacio Strand. Let's look at their pitching. Nick Martinez, I've heard of him. Brady Singer, I know they got him from Kansas City on free agent. Hunter Green was supposed to be a big thing. I don't know what he's doing, but not too bad. 2.72 ERA. Yeah, Andrew Abbott, 207, 8-1 and a 207 ERA. He's killing it. And let's see, who is their closer? Emilio Pagan is their closer. Okay. Yeah, I figured I'd know about as little as I thought. Oh, Hunter Green's on the IL? Okay. Okay, maybe McLean needs another year to come back and get healthy. I just remember him being the next big thing up there. Like I said, I don't follow modern baseball, so I don't know a whole lot about it. And also for those that missed this this morning or in this afternoon's game, I guess the Stratomatic game from this afternoon, I did record Tabby in her favorite little fort, her box, paper box that she likes to sit in. That's her thing. That's her fortress of solitude like Superman has. It's just a standard paper box that holds reams of paper, and she treats it like it's her home, and it's sitting in the kitchen floor, and she just sits there, and that's where she wants to sleep. So more power to her. But there she is. I took this this morning right before I got ready to play the Stratomatic game at noon. I took this. So yeah, cats love boxes. You got that right. So she loves that box, and she pretty much stayed there the whole day, as far as I could tell. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and get some juice in me because my throat's a little dry. And tomorrow, I think Uncle Ron is back at noon, so probably tomorrow morning I'll do Strat. And the game scheduled tomorrow morning for Strat is going to be Texas and Cleveland. It'll be Steve Carlton against Charlie Huff, probably the two oldest starting pitching matchup in baseball history, maybe. I don't know, maybe not, but it's certainly up there. I don't know what their two ages were, but they were both ready to retire. But it was Charlie Huff it's Steve Carlton's first start of the 87 season for the Cleveland Indians. And he'll be facing the knuckleballer Charlie Huff. That'll be tomorrow morning, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock, somewhere in that neighborhood, I'm guessing. So if you're out and about or able to tune in, feel free to do so. Until next time, Tigers take a 3-1 lead, or 3-1 victory to take Game 3. Reds still lead the series 2-1. Game 4. Game 4 will be Sunday night. Game 4 will be Sunday night. After RJL is finished his game on Sunday night, we will have Game 4. It'll be Gary Nolan against Jack Morris from Tiger Stadium. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.